Good afternoon, everyone. I am Camila, and today I'm going to speak a little bit about leadership. Maybe some of you that are here, you might think, oh, but I have a boss, I work for someone, I simply do what I'm told. But in actuality, leadership is in all areas of our life. For example, if you are a husband and you have a family, and you take charge, you lead your wife, your children, but you also submit to God. If you are a wife, you take charge over your children, but you also submit to your husband. If you are a family group leader, you submit to your area leader, but you also take charge of the brothers in your family group. So leadership, it is something that is present in all areas of our lives. And it is very important for us to know, because we have the role of a leader and also those who are led. So we are going to have a few slides going through this during the seminar, and I encourage you, if you have a notebook or on your phone, take notes of the phrases that are important and keywords that really stand out, so that you can remember later on. So I will ask for the second slide, please. And we are then going to see what is leadership. Firstly, leadership is not having a title. Leadership is not having a position. Oh, I was placed here, and now I am a director of the Department of Worship. I am now a family group leader, so I am a leader now. No, leader is not that. Leadership is not having a group of people who tell me things or giving orders. Obviously, it is part of leadership, but that is not the meaning of being a leader. Being a leader is someone who is able to get followers. Being a leader is someone that is able to influence people. So, it does not mean that a leader does not give instructions or have people that give him results or tell him the results. It is not that. Being a leader is influencing people. Many of the times people confuse leadership with management, or being a leader or being a boss. While a boss says, go out and do this, a leader says, let's go and let's do this. Do you understand the difference? So a leader, many of the times, he does not have to have a title. He does not have to have the title of this and that, because the people, when they see that they are able to influence them, and when people follow them voluntarily, he is in a position of leadership. He is an example for these people. A phrase that I want you to keep, it was there on the slide, that says, leadership is not imposed. Leadership is recognized. In other words, I cannot impose on people that they may obey me voluntarily. They can even obey because I am above them, and well, because it's defined that way. But in order for people to obey voluntarily, they have to respect me. They have to have credibility. They have to recognize in me leadership. And so, how can we win leadership? Because this is not something that is conquered or one day to the next. It takes time. It is a path. And so, in Luke 22:26, I will simply read. You don't have to open it. And it says, do not be like this. Before, the greatest within you should be like the least, and who governs like who serves. Because who is the greatest? The one at the table or the one who is serving? Be it only the one that is at the table, I among you am like the one who serves. So here Jesus was telling me that he himself, he served people. He himself helped others. And that is why the people would follow him. Without him asking, without him having a title, people would voluntarily follow him because he was worried about them, because he took care of them. And I would ask them to put on the third slide, please. And we are going to see here an image, and we see two examples that are similar. At the top part, example 1, we see someone that has his hand stretching out like he is giving an instruction. And he is at the top. Let's imagine something very heavy. And then there are 5 people at the bottom that are pulling to pull the weight. But now if we see on the second image at the bottom, we have the same person that is at the top, at the bottom, pulling with them. So I want to tell you, to tell me honestly, from these two examples, 1 or 2, who do you think is the leader here? Is it number 1 or number 2? It is number 2. It is number 2. Why? Because number 2, not only does he go forward to command, but he is involved with his team. He does not simply say, go there and do this. He goes forward, he motivates, he inspires his team. And the role of a leader is exactly this, is to inspire, motivate his team in order for everyone to follow the same direction, the common objective. In our church, we have a mission, we have a vision, and we have a strategy. And each one of us, we all row to the same mission. And we all use the vision in order to reach this mission, which is going out throughout the world and preaching the gospel and making disciples. So a leader should have very present in his mind, and he should pass down the spirits to his subordinates, that we have an objective, a common objective, and each one of us are going to row towards this objective. Not only the people that are beneath me, but also I too will go with them and take the first step. And so after this, he has to take care, he has to be a pastor of his team, he has to make disciples. And it's not simply for him to be the greatest. It is not simply for him to be the greatest one and be the superstar. No, it is like our apostle says, creating Jesus within people so that they may be firm in God, in the church, and in the Word. And in the Bible, we can also see examples of leaders. The first of all that I'm going to talk about, obviously, is Jesus. Jesus, he always had a great multitude following him. He did not have a title. He wasn't a governor. He was born from a humble family. In actuality, from the beginning of his life, no one knew him. But as time went by, people started to follow him. People saw that they would heal the sick. People saw that he would cast out demons. People saw that wherever he might be, wherever he would go, signs and marvels would happen. And so he helped the people. He did not ask anything in exchange. He did not force anything out of them. He simply served the people. And Jesus himself, he was that one that washed the feet. And he said that we should do the same as he did, that we should teach and do the same as he did. And here in John 13 verse 12, it says, after he washed their feet and took their clothes, and he sat once again at the table, he said to them, understand what I have done. You call me Master and Lord, and you say, well, because I am. But if I am a Lord and Master, washed your feet, you too should wash the feet of one another. Because I gave you the example in order to, as I have done, you too should do the same. And in truth I tell you, that is not the servant that is going to be greater than the Lord, nor the one who was sent greater than who sent him. So being a leader is not having a title or a position. Being a leader is not being the best or better than anyone. Being a leader is having the capacity to influence other people. Okay? Do you understand? And then we also have the example of Moses. Moses was a young man, and he was raised, and he had the opportunity to have a wonderful life. He could have chosen to have the greatest clothes and live good because he was the son of Pharaoh's daughter. But he decided to renounce that life. He decided to leave all of that behind in order to follow the calling that God gave him, to lead the people of Israel outside of Egypt. And so, therefore, he left a comfortable life and he decided to fulfill God's calling or God's plan, That is why people saw that he was there to help them. He was there to take the people of Israel towards the promised land, to what God had promised them. So they decided to follow him. They left everything, they took their things, and they went out to the desert. And they spent 40 years there. Why? Because one man decided to follow God's plan for his life. Obviously, at the end of the story, not everything went well. But what is important here, and what I want you to focus on, is that Moses, he decided to lead. And he went through tribulations and persecutions, but he did this in order to serve the people of God. Okay? And so now you can put on the next slide, please. And we are going to see better what is the difference between a leader and a manager. And we have here the slide. And what is the difference between a manager and a leader? Many of the times, people think that both things are the same, but they're not. Leadership is one thing, management is something else. They are together, they work together, but they are different tools. And management without leadership, it is nothing. It is like, for example, a cake without eggs. We need all the ingredients in order for the cake to come out well. So the first difference between a manager and a leader, a manager is someone that creates methods or goals. A leader is one that creates a vision. A manager, let's imagine a family group leader that thinks like a manager. He says, this weekend or this week, the goal for salvations is us having 3 salvations in the family group. For finances, it is this during this week in the family group. Okay, he established goals, but the leader, apart from having these goals that are numeric, he has a vision. What is the objective of these goals? It is not simply for us to give a number because I want to give results to my leader. No. The vision is always going out to preach the gospel, making disciples. So therefore, a leader, he inspires his team, explaining the vision. A manager simply says, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you have not reached this, so next time I'm going to change you. No, we cannot deal with people this way. Otherwise, the people become unmotivated. The people stop serving with zeal and love. Okay? And a manager, he does not take risks, but a leader, he takes risks. A manager, he works to minimize the risks. At all time, they try their best not to have problems. They try their best to not have conflict instead of giving solutions. A leader, many of the times, he has the disposal to take risks, because he knows if he does not take risks, he does not grow. Many of the times they do not know how things will work, and they need to try things in order for it to work out, and we reach success. So a leader, he takes risks, he takes responsibility, and he is not scared of making mistakes. He takes on those risks and the responsibility. And then a manager, he builds systems, while a leader, he builds relationships. So a manager, he builds systems and processes in order to reach the goal. He is focused always in results. He is always focused on reaching the goal. He is focused on going through the objective. But a leader is more focused on creating relationships. He wants to unite his team, uniting his team. Because if a team is united, and we are going to see more future, we are going to see that a team, they make things happen. Where there is union, God operates. But where there is division, it opens the doors for the devil. So a leader, obviously, he is going to be worried with the results, with the goals, but his basis is always the people, because people are the tools of work. And without people, he does not do anything. Without a united team, he is unable to get anywhere. And so, the managers, they give orders, while the leaders, they train people. The manager is someone that says, go and do this and that. And he says, do this. While the leader, he says, okay, we're going to do this, and I'm going to teach you how it's done. And here too, he is making disciples at the same time. He not only knows how things are done, but he shows how things are done. He follows through. So the person does not feel abandoned. The person knows, okay, he is here to help me. He's going to explain to me how things are done. And then I'm going to be able to explain later on to other people. And so a leader, he is able to reproduce. He is able to grow more. He is able to one day open more works and open more family groups and open more churches. Why? Because he trains people. So in order to conclude, a manager, he has employees, while a leader has followers. A manager has people that works for him because they have to. A boss has people that work for him because they want to get a salary at the end of the month. But a leader, he has followers. In other words, people follow him voluntarily. People want that they continue, whether he has that position or not. People always respect him. Why? Because he's able to win the hearts of his collaborators. Many of the times, family group leaders, they think to themselves that because they took the course, or because they specialized in the course, and because they're in the church a long time, and because they know the pastor for a long time, they think, no, I am a leader of a family group, and everyone has to obey me. But that doesn't make a leader. A leader of a family group, in order to be a leader, he has to be that person that during the week, he goes out and he follows the newly converted. And on Sunday, if he sees someone that did not come to church, he will call that person, asking if he needs something, if he needs a lift, or if it's necessary for him to go there. He worries about people. And every one of us, we prefer to answer or be beneath a leader that cares for us than someone that does not care or only cares when the results do not appear. All of us want someone that is worried with us. And so a leader always has to create the spirit within the people. And I repeat, our objective is never us becoming great. Our objective is creating Jesus inside the hearts of people. It's making disciples of Jesus and not our own. And so now that we know what leadership is and what it is not, we are going to talk about levels of leadership. Because if I am a leader, I can be in a different level. There's not only one level. There is the starting level, and then it goes further and further until we reach the top. And I will ask for the next slide so that we can see what are the levels of leadership that exist. And we have here 5 levels of leadership. The first one is the basics, which is a leader of position. And I'm going to later on explain in more detail. The secondly, leader of permission. The thirdly, leader of production. Fourth, we have leader of reproduction. And lastly, at the top, we have leader of respect. And so each and every one of us have a level of leadership, be it greater or in a smaller quantity. All of us have influence, even though it's over our family and friends. For example, if you go out to dinner in a very good restaurant, you have wonderful codfish. The next day you meet your friend and say, listen, I went to that restaurant, it is there, it is wonderful, you have to go there and taste that codfish. That person might go because they know you, because they are your friends and they trust you. But then, if you go out and tell someone that is a stranger to you, he does not know you from anywhere, he does not know if it's true or not, so he will not pay attention. So all of us have a level of leadership, be it greater or in a smaller quantity. And we can work on this for us to grow, to go from one level to the next, and so forth. And the basis of leadership, as I said, it should never be, I am a boss, I have this title, and so I am now a leader. No. You can think you are leader, but people that are beneath you do not agree with you. You have to inspire, you have to motivate, you have to take care of these people. It is just like a pastor. And so now we can work on ourselves, on our character. You can mold in order for us to grow even more. And this is the good news. It does not mean that if I am here on this level, I will always maintain this level. I cannot get better or grow. No, we can grow. And so, I am not on the same level of leadership with everyone. Let us imagine I am a pastor, and I am a pastor for a few time, or for little time. People do not know me. Also, in that situation, I am a leader of position. People do not know me, they do not know how I am, if I give results or not, or what is my style of leadership or my working method. So for these people, I am on level 1 or even level 0. But for another person that knows me for longer, I am on level 2. This person permits me to be their leader. They permit that I lead them. So let's have in mind that if I am on level 1 or level 2, at the end, I want you to leave this place and analyze in which level can I be with this person and with that person and with that one in my family group and that person at home. Why? Because each person sees us differently. We have relationships with people and nothing is the same. I might be a little bit advanced with a specific person and a little bit advanced with another person. And now we go to the 5 levels of leadership I'm going to explain. Leader of position is the first level. It is the beginning stage. Let's imagine we are running a marathon and we are starting the race. It is someone that has a title that was maybe consecrated a while ago, and they do not have so much time to show their results. People do not know them. People do not trust them, and so they are still there on that level where they simply have a title. They simply have that position. The person obeys them because they have to, but they do not trust them to the point of saying, that is my leader, I like them, and he treats us well. He does not have that trust. And then we have the leader of permission, which is the second level. It is someone that, even though he does not have a great capacity of influence, people like them and people see that this person is friendly and he treats them well, so they permit being led by that person. And then we have level number 3, which is a little bit more advanced. That is the leader of production. It is a leader that produces results. He reaches the goals. Maybe he is a family group leader that can already grow, or week after week, month after month, salvations, they increase, finances increase, presence increase, constantly they evangelize and they have newly converted people serving in his family group. So these people, when they look at him, they see, okay, he is capable, he makes things grow. So he has a little influence. He has trust and credibility. We also have level 4, that is a leader of reproduction. And level 4, it means that he has reached level 3, 2, and 1. So he has all these other levels and he is above. He reproduces. He makes co-leaders. Not only does he open family groups, but he also makes disciples. He already has people in which he can delegate works. And when an opportunity arises to open a family group, he already knows, no, I have José, he is my co-leader, I trained him, so he is ready to take on that work. He can reproduce. It is like he can make more people just like him. Not only does he produce, but he reproduces. And so he grows more than someone that simply produces. He makes disciples of himself. Because in order for someone to have success, there comes a time that they have to make disciples. Let's imagine a cafe. The manager of a cafe is also the cook, is also the person that is at the cash register taking orders, is also that make all the the accounting and makes deliveries, there comes a time that they cannot grow any further because they are limited to what they give, to what they can produce. They only have 24 hours a day, and it is impossible to divide themselves. There will come a time that they will be stagnant. But if they have people in the kitchen, if she has someone on the cash register, if they have someone that delivers, she is going to grow a lot more, because it is not only she being the one that produces, but the entire team. So she's able to render more or give more profit. Do you understand? And then lastly, we have the leader of respect. The leader of respect is the last level of leadership. Let's say it is the greatest, the most difficult one to reach. It is someone that has already proved that he is able to do it. People know who he is. People know what he has done. It is the case of Jesus. People, when they heard his name, they knew, oh, Jesus, I know who it is. It is someone that healed and cast out demons, etc., etc. So he did so many things, grew so much, helped so many people, that by just listening to his name, people know and respect this person, because they have seen that they are able to do things. So let's see the slide once again. Notice the progression. Level 1 is the base. The person that simply has a title. He is there and he is at level 0, let's say. He has a lot of things to do, a lot to build. Level 2. People start liking the leader. They start liking the leader, see that he's friendly, and they trust him. But, well, it is that thing that is not stable. Then level 3, people admire the leader. Why? Because he produces fruits or results. He makes things happen. It grows. Level 4, the person is loyal, has gained the trust, and let that person be influenced by the leader, because he reproduces. He conquered the hearts of the people and helps them. And so level 4 of reproduction. And lastly is the level of, or leader of respect. People know them, they admire them, respect them, and have trust. Do not doubt of what they say, because they know that he has already proved that he is capable. Okay? And now I remember once again, we can be at different levels with different people. It does not mean that I am leader level 3 with this person, and with the other person I also have to be the same. No, I can be in different levels. But also it does not mean that because I am here today, tomorrow I might not be higher. We should desire growing more and more, because the greater our influence, the greater our level of leadership, the more people we are going to be able to bring to church, more work that we can open, the faster we can go and preach the gospel further. Okay? And so now we've spoken about leadership. How do we build a team? Because building a team is not simply joining a group of people, 10 people, I take them, place them here and say, now you are going to do this. And you are going to evangelize every week, or organize yourselves and take another group of people and say, listen, now you are the department of worship. Make it happen. I do not care. All I want to know is in the service if it went well. That is not a team. This is simply a group of people that do not know what to do. They do not have direction. They do not have vision. And so a team, it is unity. There should be unity and agreement. There should be ties of connection among them. And you can put on the next slide, please. I chose this example of a football team or a soccer team, and you can see here it is like the positions of a soccer team. In other words, 2 soccer teams on the field playing. And you cannot understand the names very well, but you can see there are specific points that are one color and the other, and each team has a specific position. One is the goalie, one is the defense, and there's other people, but I do not know the names. But simply to say, all of them are placed at a specific place according to the task that they are going to develop. Why? Because maybe if I place the goalie being a defense, it is not going to work well. Or if the defense is on the goal, that team is going to lose most probably. Why? Because he is unable to do that. He is simply there as a goalie because he is good at that. But if I change him, the results will not be the same. So we have to learn, we have to understand that in a team, every person has their talent. And so we should be able to join people according to the talents that God has given them. It is not one person that is more important than the other, one person that is good at this and I like them more. No. Each person has their talents that God has decided. So we have to know how to take them, enhance and maximize their potential and their strong points, and decrease the weak points. So I have to know, for example, I have someone in my church that is a little bit more shy, and once I asked them to give the announcements and they were all shy. And I have another person that is extroverted and he likes talking to everybody and doesn't go and evangelize every week. So what can I do? For example, the person that is a little bit more shy, I will place this person in intercession or in a department that person is a little bit more free. And the other person, I can place them organizing celebrations in the church and evangelizing and preaching or speaking to the youth. Why? Because in that way, I know that person's strong points are being maximized, and the person is going to feel good because they know that I'm good at this and I'm going to organize the celebration and I'm going to talk to this person. So we have to know how to place people in the right place. It is not saying, you have to do this because I need you to do this. Okay, sometimes when we are a bit more limited and we have few resources, the person has to adapt. But the ideal is us finding the talent of that person, see where they are stronger, and pull them into that area. Because a team, it is a group of people that have the same purpose, have the same objective, the same vision. They all go into the same direction. A soccer team, their objective is to win the game. No one wants to lose the game. Obviously not. Because the team is not individual people that are there all together and each one of them is the star. No. All of us, we are one. We are all united. When all of us win, when one wins, all of us win. When there's a salvation in the family group, all the family group wins. When the church grows, the entire church grows. And so, it is not one person or another, all of us together. And there is great power in unity. The Bible said that there is great power in unity because God operates there. So if the leader is able to motivate his team, is able to win people's hearts and make them all work with the same objective, the results are going to be astronomical. And obviously this takes time. And many of the times, a team does not work because there are certain obstacles, certain problems that do not permit a team to grow. Let's go to the next slide and let's see what are the 5 dysfunctions of a team. And we might have a team, for example, family groups are not growing, and it could be one of these problems can be the reason. And we can see in this pyramid, and the apostle has spoke about this pyramid, we have 5 levels, and at the bottom, I would like you to understand that the first 3 from the bottom has to do with the human part, the human side, and only the last 2 at the top has to do with the technical part, with results and numbers. So, firstly, absence of trust. There cannot be an absence of trust in a team. How am I going to work? How am I going to serve God if I do not trust my brother on my side? It is very difficult if there is no trust. If they are scared of conflict, if they are scared of saying if something goes wrong, if they are scared to give suggestions of bettering, they are going to be there and everyone is shy and it doesn't go forward or anywhere else because there's no trust. They are not united. And then a fear of conflict. I've spoken a little bit about this. People should not be scared of giving their opinion. When something does not go well, there should be an opening to speak among one another. For example, this did not go very well and we were not in agreement, and the next time we should do this and that and it's going to go better. Okay, all of us listen, all of us can give our opinion, and so therefore all of us grow. And then, thirdly, a lack of commitment. If someone does not have commitment, if someone does not reach or arrive on time or does not care about the newly converted, if this person does not have a commitment or does not take that seriously, there is no team. Because being or not being for her is the same. Sometimes comes to church, sometimes doesn't. That person, they are simply there by being. They do not understand the objective or the goal of all of that. And then, the technical part, we have the other two perimeters that can also be an origin of problems inside a team, which is avoidance of accountability. And when a person is always trying to avoid giving accountability and through the formal meeting, and tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about these principles of the formal meeting and the organizational chart, but if someone always avoids accountability, something is wrong. They are trying to hide something, or many of the times this perimeter is related to something else, which is a lack of trust, because they are scared that if things do not go very well, if the family group is not growing, they are scared of telling their leader because they think that, okay, well, the leader will get mad or angry. And so many of the times it is related to the lack of or the absence of trust. But if a leader encourages and motivates and says, listen, this week the results were a bit weaker, but the next week we believe that it's going to be better, we declare that it's going to be better, we are going to evangelize, we are going to create communion among the brothers, and we see that the family group is going to grow. When there is this spirit, the person is no longer scared or has no problems in being accountable. But if even though there is this opening and the person is not accountable or does not give results, maybe this person should be substituted, should be changed. And lastly, we have inattention to results. When none of the other problems apply, it could be this one, inattention to results. How do I, as a family group leader, how do I, as a manager of a company, know what strategy to take if I do not know the results that I had? Going back to the example of a woman that has a cafe. If she does not know how many cakes she sold, or she does not know what are the recipes of the last month, she does not know if it's good or if it's bad, or if she needs to increase production or not, is it okay? So we have to analyze the results. Otherwise, we are going to be stagnant. And we need to analyze these results in order for us to seek strategies in order for us to grow. So we have seen that these are the 5 dysfunctions that are common in a team. And if this does not give results or something is not working, most probably it is one of these 5 problems. And now that we have seen that everything is okay, maybe there is none of these problems, how then can I make my team stronger? How then can I make my team grow even more? And it is written in Acts 2:42, and they persevered in the doctrine of the apostles, in communion, breaking of bread, and prayer. People, they are connected when they have communion with one another. because there is where we know more of one another. And I know, oh, this person does not like this, but they like something else. I know that this irritates them, but the other person, maybe they do not have a problem with this. And so it is during the communion, spending time together, that we can train people and that we can unite them, because then they will learn how to live in communion and live together and be able to deal with the mistakes and characteristics of others. Once someone said to me, each person has a label on their neck that says, I desire to be valued or valuable. So in a team, we should know how to value people. I, as a leader, have to pass the spirit to the people that are beneath me, to compliment when things go well. When things do not go well, we have to correct, but always encourage and never let the person lose their motivation. Never let the person forget what is the objective. Okay, today it didn't go well, but the next time it will. We will come together, we will be strong, and we will make another strategy so that next time it can go better. So they have to spend time together. And a leader has to know that a team is the sum of all talents. It is not wanting to make that everyone is the same. Not make that this person is organized and the other one is a bit more disorganized and never places the minutes on Mana Global on time, but maybe the first person is a bit shy and the other person knows how to talk and evangelize and bring people to church. So I'm going to position each one according to their talents. I'm not going to say that someone is worthless and exclude that person. I'm going to give potential and maximize their strong points and decrease the parts that are not so good. Why? So that each person can trust one another, so that each one can feel good. Because, okay, I know that this person is not good in this and the other person is better in that, but each person, each one has a role and all of us are important and all of us are the same. So in order to remind you, or remember that leadership is not imposed, it cannot be done by force. Leadership should be recognized. It should be recognized and it takes time. It is necessary to motivate. We should take care of people. People, they belong to God. They are not ours. They are vases that God has given us. So we should think of them exactly like that. They are tools of work, and we have to value them. And unity is what will tie them together and make us grow more and more. Each one of us wants to grow. Each one of us wants to open more works. Each one of us wants to open more family groups and go further. And this only happens when there are teams, when there are united teams, and when there are leaders that are able to have influence over people. There should be motivation, enthusiasm, always waiting for the best out of people and not saying, oh, I know this person is going to make mistakes. I know that I told this person to do this, but I know that they're not going to be able to do it because it's always the same thing. I tell them to do things and they do not do it. Maybe they do not do it because they're scared. Maybe they do not do it because they know that you are waiting for them to make mistakes. So we should take care of people just like a pastor takes care of his flock. And that is the role of a leader, not to have a title, not to be better than anyone else. A leader is someone that God has raised through his authorities in order to take care of a certain group of people. Okay? And so just to remember once again, what is leadership? Capacity of influencing people, not having a title, not giving orders. This is the job of a manager. And us as leaders, we should have a little bit of both. Leadership is the principal one, and management are the tools that help and complement so that we can do the best job. But then after that, we also have 5 levels of leadership. Leader of position, the first level. Leader of permission. Leader of production. Leader of reproduction, which is those who grow through others, and leaders of respect. And all these leaders, they should know how to have unity in their team, creating a united team, because it is through the teams that the work is done. The leader without people, he is unable to do anything. He is unable to do anything by himself. And so we should have this wisdom wherever you may find yourself, in your job, in the church, in your family, having this knowledge in order to lead by example, not saying and not doing. It is doing first, and people automatically will follow. Okay? And so do not forget, leadership is not imposed, it is recognized. And I hope that you are going to analyze and see this and see that, which is my level of leadership, and see how you are. And tomorrow we're going to have another seminar, and we are going to speak a little bit about principles of leadership and common mistakes in leadership. And I really hope that you took notes what really impacted you. And tomorrow we are here. I hope to see you tomorrow for yet another seminar, okay? And before ending the seminar, I'd like to ask, if someone sees headphones that are lost, leave it at the reception at the Lost and Found, okay? There was a young lady that lost her headphones. And so here I say goodbye. I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon, and we see each other tomorrow.
Juntos,